there's a sin of the lesser of two evils. So you might be claiming, we're not as bad as them, but they could be really, really bad, and you can be just really bad. What we want is someone that's good. Yeah, cigarettes are a really good example. But they've used the idea of the fuel-efficient sports utility vehicle. You might be better off if you're wanting to go out in the bush to ride a bike or walk to get the same or a similar experience. And the sin of fibbing is the seventh of our sins of brainwashing. So are you just making claims that are truly false? Now, we're having some nice legislation developed in Australia to prevent people or organisations, companies from greenwashing, and the ACCC has been working on these claims, and particularly if you're reporting in your annual reports about your performance in relation to the pollution that you generate, or the carbon that you generate, and to your investors. And so I gave last time I was here a little bit of a brief insight into Investor, who is a real estate company in Sydney, Australia. They own a lot of properties, and they manage these properties in a very energy efficient way. So they're often labelled as green office space. Well, they themselves say we actually are not green office space. We're just better run water and energy users, and so we have less impact than the other guys. We're not green, but they're often given that green label. And so they're saying their biggest fear is that they get caught fibbing on anything because they lose their credentials as a provider of a more sustainable service. But they're not saying it is sustainable, they're just saying it is better than or that they are the lesser of the two evils, I suppose, in this case. So there's your 7 sins. Please don't indulge in any of the exercises this evening. Have a look at those websites. And I just want to give you one product example that I've recently seen, which is a really good example of indulging in many of these sins. So I think you're all aware of the brand called Sony, and they've just put out a range of products called the Odo. Has anyone seen? Have you seen those, Douglas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're made of recycled plastic, and they're kinetically powered. You wind them up, but they're a completely new range of products designed for children to use. There's a digital camera, a video recorder, and a mini screen that's solar powered. Lovely design, nice idea, designed for disassembly. But I question, and you guys might have different ideas on this, is it really sustainable? It meets a number of the tick boxes because of the way it's made and it's designed to be used and it's powered. But my kids all use my old equipment when they have the new equipment. And I think that happens in a lot of all you just use is mum and dad's equipment. They've created a whole new product genre here, which means that mum and dad will have their own set and the kids will have their own set. The kids will have it for a few years or until they lose it or until they grow out of it, and then it just becomes more trash. So is that really a sustainable product? That's the kind of questions I think we need to ask as designers. We need to be a bit more critical about our work and what we do. And it's a discussion that I don't see often enough in the design process, which is a critique of work and the claims that are being generated around those work. So that's it for me. I'm sorry, I've got a lecture at 7 o'clock, so I have to dash off and talk to some postgrads. But thanks for listening. I'll take questions if you want.
Thank you.
Yeah.